Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JPeeps.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Denny Hendricks.
And you're listening to...
And you are listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
So what's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. I'm JPeeps.
I'm JC.
And JC...
And we're coming to you live. Hold on, let me say it one more time for you. Live from different places in the state.
Yep, that's true. One spot is in Central Florida. One spot is in South Florida.
South Florida, yes.
Yeah. But it's only temporary, though, until COVID's gone.
Yeah.
But actually, even when COVID gone, it's still going to be like this for us. So
I
it don't
about
really...
to say, we probably going to be further, honestly.
Yeah, so... will we be further? You know what? Come to here, we might actually end up being further.
Yep.
Maybe about an hour further. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing that's actually been breaking news since yesterday. Guess who?
About Russell, huh?
About Russell?
Westbrook?
Oh, no. That was going to be a little bit later.
Okay. What you about to tell me about then? Go ahead. Continue. My bad.
So guess who opted out of the spring season?
FAMU?
Yes, after we constantly beat that drum since, June, July?
Well, you know what they say. When you're right, you're right. We honestly were right. I don't think we provided any necessarily bad points there.
We didn't at all, honestly. We really didn't. I mean, it was just very much obvious. And with COVID getting worse by the day here in the U.S., it kind of made sense. Let's be honest and be factual. How many people actually really thought there was going to be a vaccine by time election day rolled around?
Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, wait. If you want to go into that, I can get conspiracy with you now.
I mean, understandable there's conspiracy theorists out there and stuff, but...
Because you know what they said? They said that it's now one that's like 90% effective, and they finally get this news after the election. I'm just saying.
That's true too.
Cover up,
but
maybe, but I don't say that.
See, you know what? We could talk about conspiracy theories and all that stuff later, after we get off the air on here. But
yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it live because that's how you end up missing it now and get found in Cuba on the beach, not breathing.
Oh. All right. But this news actually comes about 2 weeks after Bethune-Cookman had opted out. So, here's my thing with it. You hate it for the players and the coaches because honestly, it's not just football; it's volleyball and indoor track. And honestly, too, a lot of the one question I received was, "What's going to happen with outdoor track?" And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, well. Even though it doesn't necessarily say outdoor track, let's kind of think about it for a minute. All the elements in preparation and people that go into helping put on a track meet and what has to be in place days in advance. I mean, you might as well, you could lump outdoor track into that. The one thing outdoor track has going for it is the fact that it is outdoors.
And it quite is possibly to create some sort of bubble per se. I mean, it would be extremely hard, and you would have to limit how many people show up to the track meets.
Yes, exactly.
But it could be done technically, so I don't want to rule that out completely.
Right. I'm with you. But yeah, you hate it for these players and coaches. Like, I mean, in particular, you see it on Twitter all the time. Players and coaches expressing their want to play, and we're looking forward to this. We're looking forward to playing these guys. It's our final run in the MEAC, which, by the way, also this means now FAMU is done with the MEAC completely. We're not going to get to see one final showdown between them and A&T. So what happened in Tallahassee this past year. FAMU beat A&T on the field, and they beat them off the field. And A&T's still upset about it because A&T's still trying to fight FAMU.
I mean, it was to be expected. As I've previously said multiple times, and I'm sure America is tired of hearing it, this is pretty much the end of the MEAC.
Yeah.
I mean, you're losing basically your most popular, I don't want to say brands because it makes it seem like they're sellouts, but I'm going to use that term because it works in the connotation that I need. You're losing your more popular brands, right? So you're losing BCU. You're losing FAM, right? And generally beyond them, like your average Joe Schmo doesn't necessarily know about the other ones. They know about A&T.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But you're really losing that money bank right there. I think we're going to see the end of the MEAC and probably reorganization of another conference.
Yeah. Because I mean, look, I'm already sitting here with my folks making plans for 2021 as far as who's going to be the homecoming opponent for FAMU in 2021. Who's going to, like, the Florida Classic might end up being moved back to the same weekend as the Iron Bowl next year, and because of the fact of what conference they're going to, and because of how big the Florida Classic is going to be, the Florida Classic is going to be right there with the Bayou Classic. And then,
absolutely. You have to love what the SWAC has done. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ooh. Man, I ate some pizza, but I scarfed it down whole. So it's like little bits of pepperoni. My bad. Every time I breathe.
You're good.
You have to love what the SWAC is doing. I mean, they're really biting in on the historical gravitas of the teams that they've picked up to add up into the SWAC, right? And not only that, you get to revive classic games, and you get to exploit current classic games that are still going. I mean, it's a wonderful money-making scheme.
Correct. I agree with you. I love the move myself, to be honest with you. I feel like it's a fantastic move. I've been against the SWAC because I feel like this conference is not as strong as the MEAC was. Like, I will still stand by this and say the MEAC's problem was not the teams in the conference from top to bottom. It was just the people calling the shots on the conference.
I would still say that the SWAC is probably stronger. I mean, they definitely are now, but I guess that can just be argued. It's like SEC fans bickering.
Yeah, just true. But I mean, like now, like I said, FAMU won't play a football game until the 2021 Orange Blossom Classic against Jackson State. Yes, Deion Sanders and Jackson State will meet Willie Simmons and FAMU in Miami, and it's going to be a new and arranged SWAC divisions. In the SWAC East, you're going to have Alabama A&M, Alabama State, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, Jackson State, and Mississippi Valley. In the West, you're going to have Arkansas Pine Bluff, Grambling, Alcorn, Prairie View Southern, and Texas Southern. So I mean, I like how it shook out, honestly. I really do. But the other thing too is so FAMU women's basketball is going to be starting up here pretty soon because college basketball season is literally right around the corner. And so the Lady Rattlers are going to be taking on Florida State in their first game. And Florida State is coming to FAMU for this game.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. So, this game won't have any fans, but this is like the first time that I think in a while that Florida State's coming over to the Lawson Center. So, Lady Rattlers, we wish you a lot of luck. Looking forward to it. Hopefully this game is streamed somewhere so that way we can see
it. And I really hope it's a good game. I'm just trying to see some good games,
Yeah, honestly, I am too. I mean, I don't know. I know Florida State's a very good men's program, like one of the best men's basketball programs in the country now, with Coach Leonard Hamilton. I don't know what the women's side looks like. So that remains to be seen. But I do know with FAMU having a new coach coming in. So the Lady Rattlers are projected to finish fifth. While I regather my thoughts here, they're projected to finish fifth in the Southern Division of the MEAC. Hopefully we can get through the entire basketball season.
Without
exactly. So that's what I'm hoping for. So, I mean, yeah, you know, that's my take of it. Coach Pillow, Coach Shalon Pillow, who is in her first year, and her assistant coach, Jalen Powell, they're both together in their first years at FAMU. I'm wishing them the best of luck.
Because I don't have a lot to say, I just want to focus on one thing. Honey Pillow?
Yes, Shalon Pillow.
That's a comfy name right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, she
that's a cool name.
She was the assistant women's basketball coach at Middle Tennessee State under Hall of Fame coach Rick Insell.
That's a cool. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on. That's a cool name, Pillow. Dang.
Well, Coach Pillow, you have a fan. You have a fan in JC.
Dang. Motto is you put the competition to sleep. Oh, yes.
You just say that the motto is you put the competition to sleep.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well, so hopefully we'll see in a few days here if they can put Florida State to sleep.
I like that. I like Pillow. You got a new fan. I like it.
Awesome. So we know who will be watching or who will be listening for that first game. But before we transition, we got Mr. Flash joining us tonight, who just hopped on.
What's up, y'all?
Not much. I think this is the first podcast with JC and Flash together.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be some arguments around here.
Arguments.
We got history right here.
History. Big history.
History has been made tonight. We got JC and Flash on the same podcast together.
Yeah, if I start screaming, just know it's because of him.
Oh my goodness!
Now I get to go full Stephen A mode.
Wait.
Okay, so since
where's Dalton?
Here we go.
Dalton can't show up again.
Mr. Sasser won't be showing up tonight. He's been busy.
Shit.
But here's what I'm going to do. Ooh.
We have language restrictions on this podcast.
For now, we do. Don't be using up all my curse words. I got a limit.
Here's what we gonna do now. I'm gonna drop this one on you. So Westbrook wants out of Houston. 4 of his teammates have said the culture in Houston is problematic. PJ Tucker has voiced his frustrations, and also James. This is actually the kicker. James Harden blamed Austin Rivers for missing a free throw because Rivers was standing by the bench.
I think the problem is just right there alone. Like, you just heard it yourself. I mean, just that simple. Harden has zero accountability in Houston.
No. Say what you said in the group chat. You were surprised
I was
Correct?
originally surprised at the time, but I'm saying Harden.
Nah, you were surprised. But what you should have been was, you know what? It's already been there. How many times have they said this about Harden and the Houston Rockets?
A lot of times.
A lot of times. So what did you expect to change?
Well,
Nothing.
Nothing.
All they did was switch around stars. That's it. They kept Harden.
Well, the thing is, the Houston Rockets organization does not want to blame Harden because they view him as a centerpiece. And, well, I mean, everyone has seen the results about that.
Well, listen, just because you wear a Batman suit, rock a utility belt, and drive around dropping 50 points, don't make you Batman, baby.
Facts. Straight facts. Can't show up in the playoffs.
It's true.
And until they figure that out, I mean, listen, you're going to have to send Robin somewhere else and get you a Superman, dog.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because our boy Chris Torello at Spectrum Sports teased the idea of Russell Westbrook in a Magic's jersey.
I already commented about that. I would not be against it. There would definitely be a second or even an Eastern Conference Finals out for sure. I think
I'd be cool.
they would have a way better chance of winning the East than where Westbrook is now in the West. I would probably say, assuming they're willing to pay for another star, or at least
Magic,
or at least a solid role player. Yes, they'll definitely make the playoffs.
That's not a Magic's move, though.
That is true as well. It's not.
They haven't been super big on guard since Go
ahead and say since the 90s. Go ahead and say since the 90s.
Good Lord. Wow.
Go ahead and say since the 90s.
Since the 90s, yeah. Man. Who was the last good guard they had? Like, who was, like, stellar?
I would say Turkoglu was pretty good at guard.
I'm talking about no Turkoglu. I'm talking about better than Turkoglu. Come on now.
T-Mac.
That long?
I mean,
dang, that's rough. Yeah, that's not a Magic's move, man. I don't know. Usually when you associate the Magics with a player, it's like a big man or a forward.
Well, I mean, recently,
that's true.
Orlando looks like they want to build around Fultz, Marco Fultz. They believe he has a high upside. So, I mean, it's possible they may be leaning towards the guards a bit more.
Okay, here we go. The last, so there's a poll. There's a thing right here where they have the top 25 best Orlando Magic guards of all time, best Orlando Magic point guards of all time, and number one on that list is Anthony Hardaway. So he was with them. Yeah, he was with them from 94 to 99. After that, you've got
wasn't T-Mac there in early 2000s?
Early 2000s, but he's a shooting guard.
But
I'm just saying from the 1 and 2 point perspectives anyway. I'm not saying anything beyond like a 3. I'm just saying 1s and 2s.
If you want to now behind Anthony Hardaway, you got Jameer Nelson, who was with them from 2005 to 2014.
I mean, Jameer Nelson was pretty good, but he's not like Russell Westbrook level of a player.
And see, Jameer Nelson, according to this list of top 25 best Magic point guards, is the number 2 best point guard the Magic have had all time.
Okay, I want to hear 3, and then we can move on. Just hit me with 3.
Number 3 is Darrell Armstrong from 95 to 2003. He played with the Magic.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Wow, that list is kind of crazy. Okay, all right.
I mean, now also too, give or take, this is based off of like how long you played with the Magic and stuff too. Because I mean,
yeah, I was about to say, I guess it's off of length of play and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, because Victor Oladipo's on this list too, but he's only been there. He was only there for 3 years.
Victor Oladipo. See, that's how you can tell they don't be getting guards like that.
So
Speaking of Victor Oladipo, he has went up to other teams in front of his teammates and asked, "Can I play for y'all?" You heard about that?
I wouldn't blame him. He
I do
probably
that
wants
too.
that.
Yep, that was.
And
Yep, I mean the only reason why it wasn't trending as crazy as Westbrook because he's not as big of a name as Westbrook. That's why.
I mean, sometimes it could just be a joke.
No. It was all over the rumor mills.
Oh, like he was actually saying that for real?
Yes,
for real?
for real, like everywhere. It was blowing up. It was not no small time source. It was big time ESPN sources.
Oh, interesting. So hit me with what's next, boss.
Okay. So we're gonna jump
How
now
about the Raptors
from the. Yeah.
What? They're the Raptors. That's not even big deal. They're just looking for a temporary home since Canada's having COVID restrictions.
That's true as well.
There's not going to be no Tampa NBA team. That's not happening. The league is not in an expansionist role right now. Plus,
we're just poking.
Tampa doesn't even have the market for it.
I don't know.
He's got a point.
The Tampa
honestly,
market is finicky as heck because you have the Rays, right? Can't fill a stadium. You have the Bucks. They flaky. The only thing you have are the Lightning. And you have a team that's 2 hours away in Orlando, which is basically splitting a fan base.
Yeah, the Magic.
Tampa is a smaller market.
Yes, as far as basketball goes, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't. I would welcome them if they ever came here, but I feel like basketball in Tampa would not be as successful as basketball in Orlando.
You could it's a high risk, low reward. You could end up, I don't know, with a Rays, and you can't fill a stadium to save your life, or you could end up like the Lightning with a rabid fan base. But the question is, how long will it take till that rabid fan base turns on you?
That's true.
That's the problem with Tampa market.
The only issue with the Rays is that it's on the other side of the bridge, and no one wants to drive on 275 traffic just to go to a Rays game. That's the only issue.
We've already had this conversation. I don't even want to get into that.
With that, we're gonna jump now to the NFL.
Hold on, wait. I'm just gonna say this one final point on this. Tampa, if you want an NBA team or some other kind of team, whatever, you need to go support the teams you got right now, because nobody want to come here because you don't even support most of the teams that you got anyway.
That is very valid, especially their own newspapers.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Especially our own news reporters for Tampa, always bashing on our own teams. Like hell, even the Lightning reporters always bashing on their own team, even though they're so damn good. Like, it's ridiculous.
Look at AJ taking a shot at Tampa Bay media. They about to mess. They gonna think AJ is Jameis 1 of 1.
Shit, I mean, like, it's ridiculous on how much hate they get already from their own media correspondents. Like, shouldn't you at least pretend to like them, at least not straight up bash them?
Oh Lord.
I mean,
my gosh.
You see, the problem with that is bias.
That is true, but I mean, like, it's like a bias
because
against
listen. I'm going to tell you this as somebody who's been doing this for a little bit longer than you, even though I have crapping for experience. I'm a Seahawks fan, right? I will get on here and bash the heck out of the Seahawks. I've done that before.
I'm not against bashing the Seahawks, and you know that's my team as well.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. You have to put your biases aside.
But I mean, we're talking about the Lightning, bro. Like, the Lightning have been a very successful franchise in the last half of the decade.
Oh, of course.
And they still bash against them. I mean, that's like the annoying part of Tampa media, regardless. There's like not enough positivity in it.
Absolutely.
That's why I was just trying to say.
I wouldn't say the rest of the sports are necessarily bashing. I just don't think it's what you want to hear. But the Lightning, attacking the Lightning when the Lightning are usually a solid team is very much showing that the media is not necessarily a fan.
Yep.
But anyway, let's move on before I
onto the NFL. So Lamar Jackson had some pretty interesting words to say. So Lamar Jackson came out and said that defenses are calling out the Ravens' plays before the Ravens even run them because the Ravens are predictable. Lamar Jackson even said stuff won't go our way if they're beating us to the punch.
I was about to say, stop being predictable.
Literally.
And you know something about that is Hollywood Brown came out and tweeted about that in frustration, but later deleted it. And I asked our friend Hendrix, who's a diehard Ravens fan, who is he referencing? Do you think he's referencing the OC? Is he referencing Harbaugh? Or is he referencing Lamar Jackson?
Now, hold on.
And he was
Peeps, I can answer this question. I got this. And I'm going to do something that we referenced when Lamar Jackson was coming into the draft.
Okay.
Remember the conversation we had about his lack of consistency on accuracy?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has spurred into the play calling. So they are mostly a running team. So when the run does not go their way, they force Lamar Jackson to beat him with his arm, which is still kind of inconsistent, seeing as he spent a couple of years in the NFL now.
I would agree with that. I
think that's the main problem.
I'm not against that.
Now, see, I love me some Lamar Jackson, but the one thing I will say that I've noticed when I watch a Ravens game, even on NFL Red Zone, where it just whips around, when Lamar Jackson makes most of his throws, most of his big-time throws, they're always usually to Mark Andrews. Anybody else notice that?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a safety blanket.
Like a year before, like last year, I would see plays where he's heaving it up to, Hollywood Brown. But like this year, it's not so much really been Hollywood Brown. It's been Mark Andrews. And you can even look at the stats. You can look at Hollywood Brown's stats and kind of make the assumption of, what's going on here. Because like I said, Hollywood Brown is not getting the touches he's gotten before. And even this year, Hollywood Brown's he's through 8 games, he's got 30 receptions for 47 yards and 2 TDs.
I'm telling you, I think that it's the consistency issue, right? So rather than whip the ball down the field to Hollywood Brown, he's looking somewhere for his safety blanket, big target where he knows he can't miss.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's even like some instances where he runs the ball, they pick up on it so fast. Because my thing is like this: if he plays a linebacking core that's fast, that can run,
oh yeah,
like Pittsburgh,
they're gonna get
plays
him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like a linebacking core like Pittsburgh, Seattle, Kansas City, the Bucs linebacking core, the Saints, they're gonna eat them up.
Definitely, I'm with you there, Peeps.
So that's just my opinion.
Speaking of the Steelers, you know who would have really ate him up? Ryan,
or who really
Shazier.
already did it. Yeah.
That boy was fast.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a shame what happened to him.
It is a shame. If you're listening, this is Ryan Shazier. We're always fans. Hope you're doing well.
Definitely. Now, the other thing I need to know is, I'm glad I get to ask Josh this. I'm glad. If the opportunity presents itself, should Jerry Jones take Trevor
17.
Lawrence?
What?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that not the question you were asking me?
No.
I mean,
if the opportunity presents itself, should Jerry
17.
Jones take Trevor Lawrence?
the man cursed that franchise. I'm sorry.
So don't. Yeah, honestly, he ruined that franchise when he got rid of Jimmy Johnson. But so
I mean, if you need a
do you think
quarterback,
Trevor
you might
Lawrence?
as well go for it. But I mean,
I'm
Dak
gonna tell you,
Prescott been doing good. I mean, he's gonna get someone to sign him.
he's not gonna commit to
Yeah,
Dak.
that's my only issue. So, might as well.
I'm not going to say anything because it looks like there's a little trouble on the plantation. So Jerry Jones going to have to figure that out.
What?
Josh putting on the African hat right now.
Where my kente cloth at?
He put it on the African hat, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out.
Josh gonna step down on it. He's stepping down on it.
I'm really not a Jerry Jones fan. Like I could put up with Jerry Jones, but I just can't tolerate Jerry Jones anymore.
I agree. It's so annoying.
He doesn't even know his own team, which he put together.
The GM role for sure.
Oh yeah, I think he needs to take less involvement.
Like
at least less involvement. Hire a real GM, please. Because he doesn't even know the team that he had built. And we talked about this previously, Peeps.
Mm-hmm.
About how if he would have known the team that he actually had, he wouldn't have hired Mike McCarthy.
That's very true. Because I genuinely feel like Mark McCarthy is not. His schemes are not designed to allow this Cowboys team to be successful. And I feel like now that I'm looking at this from a certain standpoint, from his final days in Green Bay to now, I feel like the game has kind of passed Mike McCarthy's mindset and schemes by. I feel like his offensive attack and the offensive approach is kind of outdated.
That and his coaching style isn't meant for the type of team that is.
Yes.
I mean, it's a young and a aggressive team that Jerry Jones has put together, which I think that he wanted to do it like that. So, I mean, like he had a bunch of options. Right? Well, not a bunch, but he had two styles to go with having that type of team. You could go Bill Belichick style of coaching, or you could go Pete Carroll.
The Pete Carroll style would have been nice to see with Dallas.
Rough disciplinarian who will kick your behind off the team, don't matter how much money you make, or somebody who let him vibe, let him play. He give him the ground rules, but he'll let you do your thing.
That disciplinarian one is that one that you just described the first time. That was kind of how Jimmy Johnson ran the team.
Exactly. Although that's what I think they really need.
It is. Although they don't have the type of flashy type of guys like that, the ones that Jimmy Johnson dealt with Michael Irvin,
absolutely,
and company. But I really feel like that would have really gotten Dallas into shape and put Dallas in position to be successful. But Jerry Jones messed it up. Now, the other thing, too, here, before we dive into the next topics, is, for starters, Christian McCaffrey's out this weekend with a shoulder injury. But he's going to be seeking a second opinion.
Especially for my fantasy team.
Hey, it happens.
I mean...
And now the other one
Go on.
The other one here is for both of y'all. Are the Cardinals more of a surprise in the NFC West, or are the 49ers more of a disappointment?
Cardinals, definitely. We all know 49ers have always been suspect. So I've been more surprised about the Cardinals myself, to be honest. I'm happy for Kyler Murray, though. He's proving his doubters wrong. Can't hate for that.
So wait, you
Yeah.
put the 49ers?
49ers, we all know, are just been suspect all the years. They ain't all that.
I was about to tear you a new one. You was about to make me cuss. I was about to say now, because we done had this conversation.
I didn't hear any of this conversation, so.
See, that's how I can tell you don't be listening to them podcasts. You don't be knowing. Look at you. Yeah, I bet you think Jimmy G the GOAT, huh? I bet you think the G stand for GOAT, don't you? It stand for garbage, basura. I can't say it in no other language but trash.
I mean, look. DeAndre Hopkins is balling. So is the running back. Their defense has been looking pretty solid. Buda Baker's been looking nice all year. So you gotta count in those factors for sure.
I'm gonna go neither. Can I do that?
So you're gonna say the Cardinals are not a surprise, and the 49ers the 49ers are not really a disappointment, but you expected them to be sorry?
We knew what the 49ers were going to be once we saw that second half of the Super Bowl.
Honestly, you know what? You're right, because when we did those preseason breakdowns, you did say the 49ers were going to be in trouble.
Definitely.
I remember that.
We knew what they were going to be from the get-go. And the Cardinals have been gathering strength out there. As soon as they made that DeAndre Hopkins trade, it was like, they out here quietly putting something together. I like that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's very true.
I agree with that.
But to the casual fan, though, I would probably say the Cardinals are definitely a much bigger surprise, especially like they were dead last in the NFC West last year. This year they practically made the NFC West very competitive this year for sure. Even though the Rams are a bunch of pretenders as well. So it's definitely that the fact of competing with the Seahawks for the number one spot in the NFC West, I think should surprise a lot of people more than the 49ers being a disappointment. That's my point of view.
Fair enough. Now, one last thing before we jump from the NFL, and the whole world basically saw it. Should we be worried? Should we really be worried about the Bucs after seeing them get blown out by the Saints on Sunday Night Football?
I wouldn't press a panic button at all for the Bucs. Definitely not. Saints are just better at scheming.
Now, see, you know what? See, Josh laughing right now. JC laughing right now. Hold on, let me say this before he get going. Let me say this before he get going. Now,
the NFC West. I think that's a little bit pushing it, but I'm not going to panic.
Now, see, before Josh go off, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I listened to Colin Cowherd this weekend, earlier this week.
Go on.
And so he said as of right now, based off of what's going on, if the season were to end today, the Bucs would have to go to Philly and play Carson Wentz, and then after that, I believe, go to New Orleans and play Drew Brees. And then if they somehow miraculously get through that, they'd have to play against Russell Wilson. Or even what could happen also, too, would be they have to go play Carson Wentz in Philly and then go play Aaron Rodgers and then go play Russell Wilson in Seattle. And the other thing, too, is he said Tom Brady has never won three road playoff games. He's never done it. So he said the Bucs were done. Now, on the other hand, what I will also say is the Bucs, whenever they've been a playoff team, they've suffered losses like this before. In 79, the year they made the NFC Championship, they got beat down like this by San Francisco. In 97, they got beat down like this by Oakland. In 99, they got destroyed, I think, by Green Bay or Minnesota. In 2002, they got destroyed like this by Pittsburgh, the year they won the Super Bowl. And another year, they got destroyed by the Patriots, I think back in 2005. So, I mean, the Bucs have been here before. But I think I wouldn't hit the panic button yet. I need to see how they respond against Carolina this weekend.
But Carolina looked pretty good against Kansas. But then they had CMC as well.
That's true.
I think that changes everything.
Yeah, see, there won't be any Christian McCaffrey this season. So now with that, I'm just going to shut up. Josh, you have the floor.
Here we go, boys.
Go on ahead. You know what? I'm not going to say anything too crazy. I'm just going to say something that I've been saying the whole time, but y'all ain't been listening. Go on ahead and slap that panic button silly, because you know what? You knew what you were signing up for. Everybody told you what you were signing up for, no matter what. It's your own. Hold on. In the words of the other guys, one of the movies that I love, it's your own damn fault.
Mm-hmm.
You go sign Tom Brady. And yes, Tom Brady is good. But Tom Brady ain't never played in no place like this before.
Tom Brady been playing under the same coach for the last how many years he ever played?
20 years.
And yeah, you could say Tom Brady ain't never had this much talent around him, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. Tom Brady old. Shut up. Tom Brady ain't never been this old throwing passes before, has he?
If you manage
he
to
has
get
not.
Tom Brady, you are going to be looking at a really bad game, Tampa Bay. If you can blitz.
Well, everybody knew that. Everybody knew that from those Giants wins in the Super Bowl. If you put him on his back, that boy ain't throwing nothing.
Yes, that's true too.
So
that's very true.
And while the Bucs may have a decent offensive line that they've picked up,
it ain't decent. Well, I'm gonna say this: every part of it is decent except for the left tackle spot.
Not one position, which is the important position.
The left tackle. He got to go. He's got to go.
So you went and picked up all this talent for Tom Brady to look at on his back.
Left tackle.
And you want to know the crazy thing about that?
Honestly, this is just a Tampa Bay, just to sell tickets.
You want to know the crazy thing about it? The Bucs could have had Trent Williams.
Shame.
They could have. They really could have. Because honestly, a lot of people would have felt better with Tom Brady playing if it had been Trent Williams lined up at left tackle rather than Donovan Smith, which I don't believe Donovan Smith will be here next season, and he shouldn't. Donovan Smith should have been shipped out of here when they shipped Jameis out of here.
If y'all wanted to ship one person out of Tampa so bad, y'all should have shipped Donovan Smith.
Agreed. Especially in those pitiful losses the Buccaneers had.
Yep.
But you know what? I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. I'm gonna cool off. We good. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Let me ask you this, Josh. Right. How are you feeling about Seattle right now in the position they are? Are you worried? Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling fine. I'm not necessarily worried.
Me neither.
Definitely a big game coming up against the Rams. I'm not really worried about it. The Rams are a spotty team at best, even though they're fighting. It's basically a fight for first right now. But the NFC West is usually competitive like that. There's at least two good teams always, and most of the time there is a third team that will be smacking around in there. So
I think
I'm not
I think
necessarily
Seattle's
worried
gonna
about
drop
it.
one game in the series with LA because that's what they always do. They always somehow manage to drop one game against the Rams. But I would not be concerned about that at all. NFC.
I mean, it's a very competitive division. I think that they'll win this week. Probably. I just think that that offense of the Seahawks is just too much.
Too much Wilson.
Yeah,
It's good for his MVP
the
campaign.
big thing is going to be Jalen Ramsey and those dudes against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Like,
Now, see, that's what I want to see right there.
that's two thugs right there.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Metcalf against Ramsey. I want to see how that
Metcalf
goes.
is more of an athlete than we gave him credit to be. We all thought he was just a built dude.
No. I saw Metcalf play at Ole Miss.
Really?
I saw Metcalf play 2 games and live and in person with my own eyeballs. I knew Metcalf was going to be a dog. Yeah, I was at the 2015 Egg Bowl and saw him play, and I was at the 2016 season opener when they played Florida State. I knew Metcalf was going to be a dog.
When I was watching him play, I knew he was a dog. He made me feel worse about doubting what kind of dog he was when he showed up at the combine.
See?
I thought he was maybe like a Doberman or something. That dude, a purebred German Shepherd.
See?
Now, are you all surprised by the speed he has, or you are not even surprised at all?
No,
I mean, we saw that at the combine, and we saw flashes of it in college.
I didn't pay attention to Metcalf in college, so y'all can get at me for that. I only saw his pictures in his combine. That's all I really see.
He played for Ole Miss, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, that's true too.
Ole Miss, I knew that. I didn't.
I mean, that's the main problem right there. He played for Ole Miss.
I just did not think he was that much of a stud, like to the point that LeBron is calling him Baby Bron. All right, none of us thought that. At least until we saw him chase down Buda Baker and LeBron said it himself, and like, oh, okay.
He's doing things that I thought that God, who's the dude who played for Ole Miss before him? Laquan Treadwell.
I didn't think that highly of Treadwell, to be honest.
I thought that Laquan Treadwell could be doing stuff like that. But let's not forget, didn't he break his leg in college?
Yeah, he broke his leg, like his ankle.
So I mean, that may also have something to do with it. But anyway,
that's true.
I see the floor.
Let me put on record. I firmly believe Seattle will have the first seed in the NFC West. I will firmly believe it.
Oh yeah, they worked through that defense.
I think with Jamal Adams back, I think things are going to tighten up on that defense. Just gotta give them some time to adjust.
But now,
the bug is coming. The bug is coming.
It's time for a little bit of trivia with the bug.
Hello, everyone. My sports trivia today is who led the National League in triples back in 1992?
And there it is. That's the Bugs trivia question. So, and I'm going to repeat it for y'all. The Bugs trivia question this week is, who was the National League's triple? Who led the National League in triples back in 1992? That's his trivia question for this week. The one from last week that y'all can answer now was, who made off-season trades for both Marcus Allen and Joe Montana?
The Chiefs.
Oh, see, look, that one was pretty easy.
Yeah, that was easy. All you had to think about was, where did he go next?
Yeah, see. But yeah, y'all go ahead and comment underneath this video on YouTube and Facebook.
Wherever
if you have the answer. Yeah, wherever you are, really.
Wait, what was the question again? Say the question one more time.
Who led the National League in triples back in 1992?
Yeah, I don't know that.
So we'll have it for you next episode. Stay tuned. But now let's transition into college football here. So a couple of things happened this weekend. So Georgia, Missouri, all these games got postponed, by the way, and will not be made up. So Georgia, well, actually, no, some of these will be, some of these won't. I'm not sure which ones in particular. Georgia, Missouri, postponed. Alabama and LSU, God saved LSU from a butt whooping, postponed. Maryland and Ohio State, that has been postponed to a later date. No, it has not. It has not. It will not be made up. Yeah. Auburn and Mississippi State, because nobody really wants to see Mike Leach's offense. And also, too, Texas A&M and Tennessee has also been postponed. So do you think that any of these postponements of games in these conferences, like the Pac-12 and Big Ten, will hurt their playoff chances? Not so much the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 isn't really going to get into the playoff this year, I think. But the Big Ten, do you think these postponements are going to hurt them?
What was the Pac-12 game again? You said that was canceled? That was
the Pac-12 game that was canceled. Oh man, oh my goodness.
If it's not Oregon or Washington,
I
don't think it matters. Or even.
I mean, honestly,
Oregon or Washington it's not even worth mentioning for the college football playoffs. Those two teams have the best shot at best.
Honestly, like for me, I really did, because the season started so late for the Pac-12. I don't think that they're going to get in the playoff anyway.
I'm talking about like the small chances in general.
Oh, well, but what do y'all think about the Big Ten? Do you think that these postponements are going to hurt them when it comes time to get into the playoff?
They should be fine.
Yeah, they should be. If they continue to run the table. Wait, say that again?
It's Ohio State. Why are we worried? They're going to get put in anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see that game with Tua's brother. I can't say his name properly, but Talia.
Oh, Talia.
To watch ever since he tightened up.
Yeah. And now the other thing too is Florida State has lost 5 players this season to injury and opt-outs. So Marvin Wilson, their star defensive tackle, lost for the season with a leg injury, won't be back. Tamarian Terry lost to the season with an injury. He opted out. Isaiah Bolden, who transferred out to Jackson State. James Blackman, who really is not really a standout player, but he has opted out, and after he graduates, he plans to transfer somewhere in the FCS where he needs to be. Probably needs to be in Division II, if you ask me. He's leaving. And then Devontae Love Taylor, who is one of their star offensive linemen, is out for the season with an injury. But he most likely will be back. And then, of course, DJ Matthews out of Jacksonville, he opted out long before the season even started. He's transferring to Indiana. So is it time to turn the page to 2021 for Florida State?
Just go ahead and look ahead for the bright future they have coming for them.
Yeah,
it's on the next year. You're trying to figure out who's going to play.
It looks like Florida State got rid of all the toxic players out of their locker room.
Honestly, that's what a lot of people have been saying. Because I really feel like in hindsight, this might be a good thing. Because a lot of people have been saying, DJ Matthews hasn't necessarily been around the team. He hasn't wanted to be around the team since Mike Norvell got to Florida State. And then, a lot of these guys, it's really been if the way I see it, if you don't want to be here, and you don't want to work hard and play for championships, go ahead and get out. That's just been my thought on it.
I thought DJ Matthews was actually going to be pretty good at Florida State, but looks like he's been meh.
He hasn't even been meh. He's been MIA.
Oh, he's
just missing in action. I just feel like a lot of these guys never really got to play to their potential because of so much turnover.
Yeah, I saw DJ Matthews in high school. Like that dude, the dude was actually underrated to some extent with that kind of talent he had. The dude could do it all. Like that Trinity Christian team. I mean, yes, everyone had their eyes on Sean Wade, who's starting defensive back at University of Ohio now. But DJ Matthews was turning heads as well. Dude was a 4-star, but in reality, he's really looked like a 5-star. So I was kind of disappointed with that with FSU. But who knows? He might just need a new system.
Fair statement. Now, the other question is, is this Notre Dame team good enough to get past the semifinal round of the playoff? Because last time they played the semifinal round, they got spanked by the same team that they beat this past weekend in Clemson.
I think they should be a bit worried.
They're showing a little
worried about getting through the ACC championship first.
All right, so let me ask you so how do you feel about Notre Dame's chances if they play Alabama or Ohio State in the semifinal round?
Ohio State, I can see it. Alabama, that's a. I don't know. I just don't think they're built to play in Alabama.
You know what?
They're not.
I would agree with that.
Compared to that other team that had this team is way better.
No. But Alabama and most SEC teams are a very grind you down type of play.
Yeah,
and that's the players that they recruit.
And then see the other thing too with the SEC teams that I've noticed when they get in the playoffs, like Alabama and LSU. When you get on the field with Alabama and LSU in that semifinal round, the Alabama you see when they take the field, or the LSU team that you saw, that they will take off on you. Like that offense takes it to another level. Like we've seen games where Alabama and LSU in the semifinal round could easily run away with the game by 40 if you're not careful.
Correct. I don't think it's not going to happen with this Notre Dame team. I think it'll be much closer.
All I'm going to say is Notre Dame better come ready to play. And then given the fact the semifinal round for Alabama this year would be in New Orleans.
That's a home game. It's not fans there, obviously.
Basically. But it's right at home for Alabama. Now, if they were to meet up with, say, an Ohio State, I don't really know. I'm going to leave that to y'all.
Trying to prove something this year. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know about the rest of Ohio State, but Justin Fields is – I mean, we all know how he felt after last year against Clemson. He's out to show the world something. I don't know if his team is fit, but he can.
All I'm going to say is I think that Clemson, the next time they see Notre Dame, is going to beat Notre Dame.
For sure. ACC championship?
That's all I'm going to say. Yep. Most definitely.
I probably need like 2 more weeks before I could even guess who's probably going to be in the college football playoffs. Because I don't know if they're going to boot Notre Dame out if they lose or not. I know Clemson, they're not going to boot out like that. Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. If they lose Notre Dame twice, assuming Trevor Lawrence is back, I think they might get booted out.
Now, one last thing regarding college football before we jump to the Major League Baseball part and get out of here for the night is what's wrong with Michigan and Penn State? I did want to ask Hendricks because Hendricks is a Michigan fan. But and JC knows how I feel about this, but I feel like the final days of Jim Harbaugh at Michigan are slowly upon us.
Ever so slowly. It's a creep.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look, you can't – they lost to Indiana, correct? Or no, it was – yeah, they lost to Indiana, correct?
Which one? We're talking about Penn State, right?
No, we're talking about Michigan.
No, they play
Indiana
this week.
Okay, wait, so here it is. No, Michigan did lose to Indiana.
They did lose. They did lose.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, see, because like that was the first time in years that they had lost to Indiana. So like they lost to Indiana.
Than what they really are. That we have seen.
Indiana's a top 10 team.
I mean, because like their name is not being mentioned.
But see, they're not at all. But see, the other thing you have to keep in mind is think about the mindset right now in Ann Arbor. You can't beat you. You seem to have a tough time beating Michigan State at home. Exactly. You haven't beaten Ohio State since Tom Brady was there. I'm over exaggerating that, but let's just call it what it is. Facts are facts. And then, like, when was the last time that they were in national championship consideration consistently? So, I mean, like that's just my thinking of it. So Penn State, I think Penn State has a lot going on. Like Micah Parsons, their star linebacker, opted out. So, I mean, I think that it's a COVID year with Penn State. I think Penn State needs they need to just pack it up and try again in 2021. But Michigan, that's a mess.
It'll be interesting to see. I think it just depends on what are the coaching options that are coming up. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
We'll go back to
a lot of people. Oh,
no.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably
he had
not.
a decent run with San Francisco. That's why I'm asking.
No.
I feel like if he did, he would go back and work with his brother.
Probably as an assistant or something. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Colts up on the Titans. That's going to be big for the AFC South.
Yep, shake up the AFC South. Hey, that's good for my fantasy defense, too, so I'm okay with that. Keep doing your thing, Colts. Or one of my fantasy defenses.
Let's wrap this up.
Tis true. So one last thing before we get out of here for tonight. Major League Baseball handed out their Cy Young Awards and their Manager of the Year Awards. So Kevin Cash, congratulations to him. He won the American League Manager of the Year Award. Wait, what did he say?
Hold on. Actually, I'm going to use my curse word now.
Your audio is terrible.
Yeah, it is, but we heard him.
Good. I hope it's terrible because that's how it should feel for Kevin Cash to win that shit after losing his team the damn World Series.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm not going to lie. All of us are still kind of mad at Kevin Cash.
The whole sports world is laughing at Kevin Cash for that decision.
Now,
I mean, even Stephen
the other thing, too, is Don Mattingly
brought up his name. That's how you know it's bad.
Of course. Now, see, the other thing, too, is Don Mattingly has won National League Manager of the Year for the Miami Marlins. He got a team that we all assumed had no chance at the playoffs to the playoffs. And the Marlins made the playoffs and did pretty well for themselves, considering no one predicted them to get there. And then as far as the Cy Young Awards go, the National League Cy Young Award winner is Trevor Bauer from the Cincinnati Reds, and from the American League, the Cy Young Award winner is Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Indians. So kudos to all of those guys. And with that, that's going to do it for us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. It was kind of lengthy, had a lot to talk about tonight, which is awesome. But stay tuned. We have a lot of fun stuff to come.
I actually want to close out with this one thing. Now I think about it, Westbrook and Vucevic may be a good damn duo for Orlando. When you think about it, when we think about Westbrook, we thought he was going to do a one-man show. I think him and Vucevic could do some things. I mean,
we'll
not
see.
enough people are thinking about it, of what the potential could be.
We'll see. But as always, y'all follow us on Facebook at Penalty Talk. Follow us on Twitter at Penalty Talk as well. Follow us on Instagram at Throw Flags, but you can always type in Penalty Talk and our logo will still pop up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then also, too, check us out on Spotify because these podcasts are all over Spotify. And JC, you got anything?
Don't forget to support my golf career.
Here he go with his golf career again.
What?
Hey, look, we need to find a way to get to Augusta for the Masters.
Don't forget my Max.
Wow. Flash, you got anything?
About that possibility, if nothing else would.
Well, in that case, that's all we got for tonight. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. And we'll...
Now I'm going on a holdout. Yeah, I want my money.
Wow. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. We'll see you on the next episode.